Hello, hello, hello. Yes, more come in, first row. I'm so sorry to take you or keep you away from your lunch, but I promise not to make it dry. So, XR and AI, the next hottie in the room, a loaded gun. So as first, a small warning, I'm not responsible for any hurt feelings. If anyone feels offended, I can recommend a therapist, otherwise it's your thing. So, this talk is about the collision of the two forces, which is AI and XR, obviously. The one reshapes thinking, while the other reshapes reality. Putting these both together will enable some kind of future that's very powerful and absolutely unavoidable. It's full of potential, but we need to be aware of this potential. So, AI is like a child with a loaded gun. Why do I say this? You can't say it, right? So, AI is very helpful, can be very helpful. Investors are pouring billions and billions into this domain, simply hoping to get the necessary return. Some claim even that AGI is around the corner, I guess in the same way like fusion energy is around the corner or any other nonsense. AI has the power which it does not understand. It does not know right, it does not know wrong. It cannot differentiate between fantasy, science fiction, facts, and fake. It does not know what to get out of the noise. And when we hand it more and more responsibility every day, then this mix becomes a little bit scary. So I'm offering you 3 parts mainly today. A warning where we are standing, then the real story about how we got there, and what it takes to keep the human in the center before the tech takes over. So here comes my warning speech. Let's start with AI means nowadays LLMs. AI is ChatGPT. Many people are simply thinking, if it responds in a halfway understandable way, that this is already intelligence. But be aware that it's trained on the content in the internet. And we all know around 80% of it is simply garbage. It's trained on mass dumbness. So we've built a system that absorbs our collective nonsense and spits it back with confidence. It uses statistical models to predict the next token. It does not give you the latest spot-on expertise. It gives you the average Joe's opinion. So if, in a country I will not name, majority of the people would start thinking that Earth is flat, then it will, of course, resonate within the model, and this is what you will get out of it. So, bell curve, we don't get the excellence, we just get the average. Due to our tunnel vision, how I've mentioned, AI became the equivalent of LLM. We see right now just this one thing, even while we know in our head that it's far more. But this tunnel vision limits us to act properly. It's a normal effect because humans cannot handle complexity. We know it, we can't act. Then comes the silos that are using it. Hey guys, why are you leaving? So every silo of usage requires an own typical wording. I had in the recent past, for example, startups pitching me law applications on public LLMs, which is nonsense, because lawyers use a specific language. You cannot just translate English, German, French into law. So every silo of usage requires an own typical wording, and every language itself has its own tripwires. We have the national dominance in our LLMs, which is the biggest ones come from US, and China is catching up. Means in these models, we have cultural bias, national interests, and when the shit hits the fan, then you have a crazy billionaire who decides that his LLM uses his own mindset. Then we are having multiple vectors for attacks, which means, for example, data poisoning. It was already showed that from the hostile countries are huge bot networks, huge data sets, spitting out nonsense just to confuse the big AI companies when they are training their models. Then we have to think, MIT showed it in their own research, how AI usage changes our own thinking. From my personal experience, when I've talked with, especially with youngsters, when they even ask ChatGPT, hey, this is my fridge, what do I have to cook? They started to have serious issues to remember things because they know whom to ask, and they are having serious issues to articulate in a proper way. So all of this makes us to feel so comfortable that we are outsourcing our judgment. And this is a true danger. We are outsourcing decisions. We are outsourcing responsibility, not because AI is smart, because it's convenient. If it quacks like a duck, if it walks like a duck, we think it's a duck. Now comes the XR part into it. Imagine the same AI-generated slugs, but not on a screen, but around your body, in your field of view. It means that you can't trust your senses anymore. When AI gets fully immersive, the line between perception and hallucination blurs very fast. Deepfakes in 2D are already quite annoying. Now in XR, you shake the hand, you talk with the fake, and you still think it's, hello Jan, it's Jan. So these fakes in 3D will look you into the eye, what we normally do as humans, to make sure that it's something real we are experiencing. So this emotional impact is being multiplied, and honestly, our own small supercomputer is not ready for this. So AI does not really create intelligence. It just amplifies what we right now have as AI. It amplifies whatever we feed in. If we feed in confusion, then we get weaponized confusion. If XR is fully embracing AI, then we will see a far bigger blast radius on this. So amplifying the chaos. And honestly, intelligence is far more than what we think it is. Now, the second part, the history, my lecture. So, our algorithms in AI are from the 1950s. This is an old thing. This math right now became just computable. So the big revolution isn't the intelligence, we have it since 70 years. It's right now cheap and scalable compute. And to shock you even more, the theories behind computational intelligence are from the 1940s. Deep learning has its roots in our naive understanding of the human brain from the 1960s. So very old, very simplified brain models, nothing even close to any kind of cognition. We just polish the same idea now with massive GPUs. So the real leap came from brute force. It's really a brute force attack on intelligence, decision tree statistical models. We have this massive compute, massive parallel compute, not any kind of magical spark of intelligence, it's just scale. Then, of course, the data that we feed in. We see the growth in data, how much garbage you can put in. So adding these massive data sets, increasing the data streams, this is where right now our AI, LLMs, became so useful. 20 years ago, it would not have been possible. Simply lacking of data, lacking of compute power. So now, AI is not the new hottie, not the replacement. It's nothing else than just a facelift on old bones. Plastic surgery on classic algorithms, it's for sure impressive, but it's not revolutionary. Not in the way how it's sold to us. The next iteration will be quantum compute. Again, something that might be next year or in 5 years. No, it's not. It's far away from this. Like fusion energy. Could it change the game? Sure. Human intelligence, the human brain, works more like a quantum computer, more on these superpositions than a binary system. XR. XR isn't new either, right? The Sensorama, 1956 or 54, or he talked about it several times. So the roots are in the 50s. The difference is right now just the convergence, AI, XR together. It's intelligence plus immersion. And this combination can make XR meaningful and dangerous at the same time. How can it work? We need to focus on a human-centric future. Human-centric does not mean user-centric or customer-centric, because we need to also talk about how does it impact the others when I'm using it and they don't. So this human-centric approach, we of course have some kind of collision between modern organization types. They are worshipping templates, workflows, KPIs, OKRs, all of this MBA alphabet of horror. They kill originality, they kill real thinking, how we've seen already. AI will automate a lot, but majority of it is still out of context. We see national programs, the Manhattan Project, where billions are being poured in a circular Ponzi scheme into something that does not really reflect industrial use cases. All of these massive data centers are needed for your private ChatGPT or Grok usage, not for the industry. So we should focus on that it flies, that we trust it, making solutions for humans and not against them. Which means we need decentralized solutions, they need to be private and local. Then we can avoid this huge gazillion terawatt usage of AI data centers. Instead of just exaggerating this nonsense into space, what we need to understand to be successful is how fragile our intellect is. The only thing worth optimizing right now is meaning. Humans don't follow templates, mostly. We like to have some kind of drawers to put everything what we see inside just to deal with our not understanding complexities, but templates, we are more focused onto purpose. AI cannot create this purpose. XR can simulate it. This is our job. So all of the creators, all of the founders, everyone in this tech business needs to think about what value do I add, not just a fast ROI to please the investor. So we have to put the human back into the middle, and AI and XR are just tools that are orbiting. In the moment they become the center, we lose agency. With this, because majority of the issues are simply in management, they are focused on budgets, they are focused on ROIs, KPIs, OKRs. But when I talk, for example, with industry representatives, I see a need on people that come from areas that we've made fun of when we've been studying tech or whatever. Things like philosophy. Philosophy matters again, because philosophy asks the question AI can't. It's the why. Same with psychology. Psychology matters, because AI can't understand this context. Trauma, emotion, intent, it predicts patterns. It does not understand us. And even theology. Theology, regardless of belief, offers one critical lens. What for? What is the moral anchor? Where's the limit? Tech alone has no brakes. This is where all of these sub-studies can bring these necessary questions into the game. So in future, instead of a CEO, maybe a chief theology officer might be the main responsible one. Currently, everyday life is optimized against us. All of these shiny use cases are used to get data, to get knowledge, to monetize it. Next thing is, of course, who knows me knows that I'm not a fan of cloud, SaaS, and all of this stuff, because it's a huge domino chain. Even if you pay attention onto what you've developed, the company where you are using your APIs through maybe does not give a damn. And if they change something, they kill your startup. That easy it is. Don't be evil, even when it's profitable. I choose to take these guys instead of another logo. These guys will be talking after me, so maybe I would not have been invited. It's not just about the business. It's not just about this kind of data colonialism. The potential for human augmentation is endless. Merging AI, XR to enable us for another democracy, to understand, to participate. This is where the real value is. So the return of invest is more or less a moral return. Templates kill originality. Stop managing, start meeting. XR will be now the test ground. We will build environments that can expand empathy, creativity, the human potential, or we can build just high-resolution prisons for our dopamine rewards. The choice isn't technical, it's moral, ethical. The leadership that we need will go away from the CEOs obsessed with efficiency, dosing everyone, we need someone obsessed with responsibility. So the future C-level, how I've sketched it out, psychology, philosophy, maybe theology. This was my arc, the warning, the history, and potential, what to pay attention in the future. Nothing here is inevitable. Everything depends just on how we steer it. So the future is loaded. The tools can protect, destroy, pretend. We just decide where it points. Have a great one. Enjoy your time.